Hello, hello, my friends. Another dedicated candle review for you today. We're going to be talking about the Gift Gala Shop Candle Company Buttercream Cake. Now, this candle that I am reviewing is one of their 2-wick amber vessels. They do also offer this style of jar in a single wick 9-ounce vessel. And then the other candle vessel that they offer that I am familiar with is their 2-wick kind of like apothecary style jar. It's the same size jar that Caramel Sundays uses for their 2 wicks. I think that candle place also uses a similar type of vessel. And that one is labeled as 22 ounces. This candle here is labeled as a 2-wick 16-ounce vessel. I do believe that this retails for around $28. The Gift Gala Shop is a small business based out of Texas. Again, they specialize in non-toxic 100% soy wax candles, which you guys know I am all about that these days. And so, of course, a buttercream cake candle did appeal to me. So let's go ahead and talk about the fragrance notes on this one. They are listed on the front of this label and they're pretty basic. It says vanilla, cake, buttercream frosting. Now, to some people, they may say, that sounds rather boring. But you guys know that for me, I genuinely love to have like a vanilla cake type of fragrance at some point, usually always in my candle stash, because I do find vanilla fragrances to be kind of like the little black dress. I feel like they can accompany so many other fragrances year round. In the springtime, I like them with florals. I feel like they can pair nicely with like coconut and summery beachy fragrances. They pair nicely with a lot of those pumpkin and apple spice scents in the fall. And then, of course, around the holidays and in the winter, they pair nicely with like a tree fragrance or any other spicy scents. So, of course, I thought, you know what? I better familiarize myself with this fragrance. To my nose, you guys, this is pretty much what it says it is. It is a pretty basic vanilla cake type of fragrance. So if you're somebody who is bored by scents like that, this is probably not going to be a candle that is going to appeal to you. Here's the thing I am going to say about this. This fragrance to me, I definitely get the vanilla cake aspect a little bit more than the buttercream frosting. There is a sweetness to this fragrance, but I will say that one of the things about this candle that I'm kind of struggling with a little bit is that I find this fragrance enjoyable for about the first hour and a half of the burn. But after that, and particularly I have noticed it now that I am getting like down below the second half of this candle. One of the things that I'm finding is that I feel like when the wax gets a little bit too hot, the something about the fragrance oils on this, it comes across a little bit artificial vanilla, almost slightly plasticky to my nose. It's not a favorite for me. Again, I really liked this one on like my first 2 burns. I was really, really enjoying it. But as this fragrance is going a little bit further down, I think that the oils, maybe it's different fragrance oils, are starting to come out. That I feel like the blend is changed a little bit. And this is actually something that I noticed with their Warm Mittens fragrance as well. I noticed that the Warm Mittens fragrance, I really liked it about like 2/3 of the way down. But then that last third of the candle, I found the fragrance kind of changed a little bit on me. And it became less of the like nutmeg spice, like warm gourmand. And there was almost like a shea butter type of note that started to come out a little bit more. So I'm not exactly sure why it's done that. You guys know, and this is not like a knock against Gift Gala. I finished burning their Stillwater Cottage and I loved that fragrance all the way down. But I do wonder if it's something to do with like the vanilla base or something that she's used in her gourmand candles. I did also destash the lemon pound cake. In fairness, pound cake fragrances that are really dense and buttery, are not my jam. And I found that one to be a little bit too dense for my personal preferences. Um, so I would say that this fragrance is not going to be a repurchase for me, just because I feel like the fragrance doesn't stay consistent to my nose throughout a longer burn cycle. And I'm somebody that when I light a candle, I usually expect to get at least 3 or 4 hours of burn time. 100% soy wax candles, even though this is not the manufacturer's recommendation. I oftentimes can like set those and forget them throughout the day. The burn quality is usually just so good on that. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the fragrance overall. Now let's go ahead and talk about the performance. Whoa, goodness, my camera there got a little wonky. So you can see I am, it's nice clean burn. You can see the wick clips down there. I'm not sure if they're slightly off center. They might be. Let me tighten up my, oh goodness, my little stand here. We don't need the camera falling all over the place. Hope that didn't make any of you guys nauseated if you're watching this on a larger screen. I'm trying to touch this, you guys, but it's actually pretty hot. So you can see the wicks are performing quite well. I'm not sure if these are the old wicks. I have heard that she's kind of changed over to burning some wicks that are a little less hot. But so far for me, you guys, this one is, burning quite well. I do, now that I say that, I do wonder if she's using less intense wicks, if that would change the fragrance on this one while it's burning to something that I enjoy a little bit more. I wonder. Just wonder about that. You know what? Maybe when I get done with this, I'll put this into a crock and see if that changes my thought process on it. Maybe. We'll see about that. All right. Strength and throw on this one, you guys. This is one of those fragrances. It's a vanilla scent, right? It's probably around like a 5, 6 at the most. It does not really want to throw out in my open concept, which in fairness, you guys, a 2-wick 16-ounce vessel, I don't have the expectation, particularly with a vanilla fragrance, that is going to fill up my open concept. I purchased this with the understanding or expectation that this was more than likely going to be a complimentary fragrance that I was going to burn in one of the bedrooms of my house. And that is primarily where I did burn it. I did attempt to burn it out here in the open concept. And like I said, did not get a whole lot of performance there. Yeah, I can definitely smell this fragrance when I walk into my bedrooms. It's definitely there. But once again, I only really like the fragrance for about an hour. Once I start walking in around that 2-hour mark, it just is smelling plasticky and artificial, and it's just not really my jam. So overall, you guys, this one is not going to be a repurchase for me. My number one vanilla gourmand, like cake type of fragrance, that spot still does belong to Caramel Sundays Bakery on Main. I still love that scent quite a bit. But this one, I'm glad that I tried it. I'm glad that I have experience with it, but it is not going to be a repurchase for me. That being said, you guys, I still have had some real winners from the gift gala. Grandma's Kitchen is a solid winner for me. If you are somebody who loves like spice cake types of fragrances, I would highly, highly recommend Grandma's Kitchen. That one smells quite a bit like Caramel Sundays coffin cake to my nose. But anyways, you guys, really like that one, but this one was a miss for me. So let me know in the comment section down below if you have tried this candle, if this is one that was on your radar. I would be curious to know. It's pretty simple review right here. Gift Gala does have some ambassadors and affiliates that do have discount codes. So feel free to look any of those up. I have a couple of friends here on YouTube who are affiliated with them. So feel free to use any of their codes. I did purchase this candle. It was not sent to me in PR or anything like that. This was purchased with my own money. And as always, these are all of my own thoughts. So again, please hit the thumbs up button if you found this review helpful. Consider subscribing to my channel if you are new. I do want to say thank you so very, very much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.